Alright guys, welcome to another bonus episode of SVR06. This is going to be covering the alternate cutscenes and choices, I guess you can say, for the season mode. Now, I will preface this by saying that it's a little disappointing that there's not really that many alternate cutscenes in this. I mean, in this game, even if you lose those big matches, sometimes what the game actually does, it just plays the generic celebrations from Exhibition. And sometimes there's like commentary, most of the time actually not. And like a lot of matches don't actually have concluding scenes that are unique, so it doesn't matter if you win or lose. But there is some we didn't cover here. There is a couple choices in some of them, so we're gonna be covering them here. And also, we're kind of at the end of the road here. This is actually my last planned bonus episode for 06, so this is actually gonna close the chapter here in the SVR06 playthrough. Then I'll actually probably be moving on to SVR07 or getting some more stuff done for other games. So I do want to say though, whenever I say like my playthrough is done, I don't really mean like I'll never touch this game again. Like my playthroughs are never really complete. I'm more so just kind of like hit the mark of what I have planned when I start them, and this is the last thing I have planned. I covered everything else, like the PSP stuff and all that. So yeah, I guess we're gonna be diving into it here now. We're gonna be playing as pretty much just random people here picking stuff. That's really gonna be about it. But of course, you know, after this, you know, maybe like some people discover some things about the game, or like there's stuff I want to go back. There's some mods that come out or beta copies. So I'm not like fully saying I'm done with this game after this, but this is going to be the last planned bonus episode for the game. So it's been a long journey. Thank you anyone that stuck around, and let's just go ahead and dive into it. All right, so first alternate cutscene. Just a little bit of context here before we get into it. This is going to be a alternate choice for the Torrie's contract storyline. Now, when I originally played, I sided with John Cena, so this time I'm going to side with RVD, and there's actually like one little cutscene, you know, when you're in the hallway and they talk to you after the match. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this here, which sides with Rob Van Dam, and I'll see you in the cutscene.
Hey dude, I just wanted to say, man, I really appreciate you getting my back when Cena went off last week. I can't even believe a thug like him would accuse me of running down Theodore Long like that. Thanks for believing in me, dude.
Actually, RVD, neither one of you convinced me of anything. Cena wanted a match, I gave it to him. Besides, he made some good points. You have to admit, it has been a long time since Teddy Long has given you a title shot.
Oh, so that's the way it's gonna be, huh? Well, let me tell you something. I don't need to have a title to be Mr. Thursday Night. So tonight, why don't you meet me in the ring, find out just exactly what it means to get your ass smoked by Rob Van Dam.
Man, normally RVD is, you know, a mellow guy to say the least. But he's acting a little touchy about the whole Teddy Long thing.
Well, it's a touchy subject, Taz, and until we find out who did it, I think it's going to remain that way, even for a guy like Rob Van Dam.
Alright, there you go. That's the hallway scene with RVD instead of John Cena. By the way, I'm just going to be playing as random people during this video, so we had Rene Dupree there. And Rene Dupree's voice acting was actually pretty good. The way he said the word anything was pretty good, but we'll move on to the next scene. Okay, next cutscene. This is also the Torrie's contract storyline. Now, when I was recording, I actually almost missed this before finishing this video because I actually didn't really think about this, but this is going to be the cutscene backstage where Torrie tells you, the main character, and the person you did not partner with in the previous week about how her contract can be on the line at the next pay-per-view. So here we go. Here it is.
Guys!
Torrie, what are you doing here?
Listen, I don't have much time. JBL's gonna notice that I'm missing before too long. But I have some good news. I've convinced JBL to put my contract on the line at Vengeance. In an Iron Man match.
That's great.
But there are two catches. The first is that I had to agree that it would be a lifetime contract. If JBL wins, I'm his for the rest of my career.
Yo, that ain't gonna happen. What's the second catch?
The superstar who wants to sign the match for Vengeance has to beat Orlando Jordan in a match tonight.
Beat Orlando? No problem. I'll mop the floor with that goon. He can't see me.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. What do you mean you'll take on Orlando?
Just what I said. You got a problem with that?
Yeah, I do have a problem with that. I can take Orlando myself.
Tell you what. We'll solve your little problem the way I solve all my problems. You and me can work it out in the parking lot.
I don't believe it. These guys still can't get on the same page. Now they're going to have a match to decide who gets to take on JBL's Chief of Staff later tonight.
Not just a match, Cole, a parking lot brawl. This don't look too good for Torrie.
All right, there you go. So if you're not understanding why that was an alternate scene, it's because in my original playthrough, I partnered with Cena on the previous match, so I had that scene with RVD. So that scene is a similar like story thing, but it's just with John Cena, so there's some slight differences, but there you go. All right, guys, next alternate cutscene. This is going to be the Earning Your Spot storyline for SmackDown. Now, when I originally played this on video, I decided to side with Eddie Guerrero initially. So to get this alternate cutscene, I need to not side with Eddie Guerrero, and then we'll show you what happens at the pay-per-view when you don't do that. Alright, so here at No Mercy, this time instead of the tag match, you get to actually face Eddie Guerrero and Undertaker's his manager. So I'm just going to go ahead and skip this because the scene you get afterwards, whether you win or lose, is the same. So we'll take a look at it here. It's kind of funny because when you side with Eddie, the cutscene is just generic, but this is actually unique.
I don't think this one's about winning or losing, Cole. It's about who's going to be able to walk out of the arena tonight.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! My God! A chokeslam all the way from hell!
And the funny thing about this scene is actually Yuke's messed up. This cutscene is supposed to take place in the No Mercy arena because that's where we're at. We just had this match, but they had it on SmackDown for some reason. I think I hinted about this glitch in my playthrough, but since I didn't make this choice, I didn't get to actually show and talk about this, but here you go.
Oh my God! What brutality!
It's pretty clear that Eddie Guerrero is using Taker to make an example out of his opponent. And you gotta believe that every guy in the SmackDown locker room is taking notice.
Is there anyone who can stand up to Eddie Guerrero and The Undertaker?
All right, there you go. So that's the alternate scene, which is much better than what I originally got when I played when you side with Eddie, because it's just a generic victory celebration. And once again, I gotta say oh, something just fell off my computer desk. But anyways, in this game, the motion capture is terrible. You can never change my opinion on that. It's funny because I remember saying that in my initial playthrough, and I know everyone's got their opinions. I'm not saying you're wrong. If you disagree with me, that's fine. But I just remember someone in the comments saying like they think it was really good for this game, and I'm just like, how can you look at this and compare it to even the next year's game or even the previous year's game, which is probably hand animation, and say that this is good? Like, that chokeslam looks so goofy, and like the way he positions that tombstone is just so goofy, man. You can never change my mind on that. Again, just my opinion, but that's just how I feel about it. So we'll see you in the next cutscene. Okay, so next cutscene, once again in the Earning Your Spot storyline. This is going to be when you refuse to join Eddie. You actually end up having a ladder match with Eddie. Now, what's interesting about this is the urn is hanging above the ring. So to be honest, going back on my alternate stories video, I kind of wish I would have took this path because it's a lot more interesting now looking back on it. And I know I said in the intro of this video that I'm not going to be covering alternate dialogue, just alternate cutscenes, but I'm going to actually include the entrance dialogue for this one just because it's pretty cool in my opinion.
Eddie Guerrero is a master of the ladder match, but Taz, this main event isn't just any old ladder match. In fact, I don't think there's ever been a match quite like it in the history of the WWE.
You got that right. The Undertaker's urn is hanging above the ring. That means there won't be any interference from the dead man in this match. Plus, whoever climbs up and grabs the urn not only wins the match, but gets control over the Undertaker.
You've got to give this brave superstar credit. He refused to join with Eddie Guerrero in the demonic Undertaker, and now he specifically requested this match as a way to put an end to Latino Heat schemes.
Yeah, but what happens if he wins, Cole? Say he climbs the ladder and grabs the urn. He ain't gonna just give it back to the Undertaker, is he?
Alright guys, so I wanted to include gameplay just to show you how the urn is actually suspended above the ring, so you can see it right there. Pretty cool. Also, I'm gonna try to win the match here real quick, so don't have to do too many cuts. I'm just gonna throw him out. He's probably gonna get up, but there you go. I'm hanging from the urn right there. Carlito, get in the urn. There you go, I got it. And what's interesting about this, I believe this is the exact same ladder match win animation, except for the prop in the cutscene is swapped with the urn instead of like the briefcase of the title. Seems like it at least. I haven't seen this in a while, so maybe I'm wrong. He's got the urn. My apple's in there.
I spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool.
Carlito's out of here. And he's just laying there. I'm out of here. Just no, there's no commentary, which is weird, but. By the way, Carlito recently returning at Backlash. Well, I guess making an appearance more so. But I'd like to see him back full time, in my opinion, at least. But there you go. That's me grabbing the urn. All right, here we go. So another cutscene for the Royal Rumble storyline. Now, I guess technically this isn't an alternate cutscene. It's more so a cutscene I missed because normally you're in the Royal Rumble, right? And I won the Rumble when I first played this. But if you lose, there's actually a special cutscene here, and I'll show you now. A lot of people actually already know about this because, you know, if you're playing this as a kid, you can get destroyed in the Rumble, especially if you have a lower entry number. So I'm sure a lot of people saw this. I remember seeing this as a kid from losing the Rumble first, but here we go. So this is what happens when you lose the Rumble. Flair gets the job done. Let's go.
Cut the music! Cut the music! What's going on?
I have no earthly idea.
Hold it right there, pal. That was pretty smooth, and you almost got away with it. The next time you try to cheat and switch Rumble entry numbers, make sure you're not doing it in front of a hidden security camera.
I don't believe it. He cheated. Why of all the...
I thought there was something fishy about
Dirtiest player in the game.
I will not have the greatest match in sports entertainment tarnished like this, damn it! On my personal authority, I'm reversing the referee's decision and disqualifying you. I want the Royal Rumble restarted right away with these 6 participants. We're gonna have a legitimate winner here tonight, by God.
It's not over after all. The Royal Rumble is going to be restarted.
You heard Mr. McMahon, JR. It's not gonna be over until we have a legitimate winner. Haven't I told you that cheaters never prosper?
It's pretty great that we got Flair there. If we would've got Eddie, it would have been a little bit better since he actually stole someone's... Actually, he stole Ric Flair's entry number, ironically. Very funny backstage segment. But then here you go. So this is what happened. So, you know, they basically restart, like Vince said, they restart the Rumble. It's basically just a 6-man over-the-top rope battle royal now. And I'm playing as Chris Masters here. But then this is basically a second chance opportunity to win. Wow, look at this final 6. This could be, imagine one of these guys winning the Rumble during this period. But it's your second chance to win. Now, I must say, I believe I didn't mention this in my original playthrough, but if you win the Rumble this way, you do not get the Royal Rumble trophy in your locker room. You have to actually legitimately win the real Rumble. So there you go. That was the additional cutscene, I suppose, for the Royal Rumble storyline. I'm not going to be playing this on video here because it just basically goes into the Rumble win if you win, but there you go. Alright guys, so I wanted to show you me losing the second chance battle royal because I've never actually lost this before, so this is actually what happened. So okay, I guess I got infinite running Heidenreich as well. So the match will just instantly end, like it's like Legends of Wrestling or something. Then it looks like it just picks somebody to win. And look, this isn't even the Royal Rumble win animation, it's just a generic one. Apparently everyone just exited the arena because they're upset Regal won the Rumble or something, but... So check this out. This is the most important thing here. Rematch. So this is probably, I believe, the only match in season mode you can actually rematch. So when I say second chance to win, it's actually unlimited chances, which I don't think I ever knew this because I don't think I've ever lost this second chance battle royal thing. So this is really really strange. But there you go. I figured I'd just include that. Okay, I figured I'd include this just for anyone that asked too. So it says rematch or exit. This is what happens if you exit. So in the story now, as Chris Masters, I lost the Rumble. So this is what happens. It's actually pretty funny. So you lost. Like, oh, great. Can't wait to continue my season mode and see where it goes from here. Right, guys? Wait, I'm back at the main menu? Wait, season 1, let me get back in. It's gone! That's the end of Chris Masters' story. So if you for some reason decide not to take that rematch, it's over. So it doesn't warn you in your game or anything. That's pretty hilarious, actually. It's kind of like in, I think I talked about this in my Here Comes the Pain playthrough, where like there's a certain point, like if you lose the Rumble, like you're just stuck without a storyline for the rest of the season or something. But there you go. That's the end of the Chris Masters story. But there you go. That's the alternate or additional cutscenes for the Rumble. Alright, so next set of alternate scenes here. This is going to be the Raw Act 1 storyline, Uneasy Allies. So when I originally played this, I decided to side with Shelton Benjamin. And for this scene, if I choose to stay out of it, you get some different scenes. So here we go. Alright, so we're at Raw here in the next week. So you actually face Shelton Benjamin this time. So I'm going to go ahead and skip it because the scene's the same every time, whether you win or lose. Which is the case for a lot of these cutscenes, unfortunately, in this game. Not all of them, but a lot of them. My God, Evolution Reunion!
Stop it right there. This has gone on long enough. I am sick of the interference and the cheap shots. You two are going to settle this in a rematch at Unforgiven, in an Intercontinental title match. And just to make sure that Triple H and Ric Flair aren't involved, it's going to be a steel cage match.
Did you hear that, King? A steel cage match for the Intercontinental title at Unforgiven. And Flair and Triple H are banned from ringside.
Unforgiven is right. I don't think Triple H and Flair are going to forget Bischoff for this one, JR.
By the way, I love in that cutscene how like the bell rang, we hit him twice, and Bischoff came out immediately. All we did was hit him twice, that's it. And actually, that's the only alternate cutscene for this storyline now that I'm thinking about it. So it's basically, you know, when you stay out of it or side with Shelton, it's basically choosing do you go for the Intercontinental or the World title. So do you either face Triple H or Shelton Benjamin. It both end in a cage match at the pay-per-view. And just like when we saw my main playthrough, win or lose, the title gets taken away by Bischoff. So I'm not going to show that because it's the exact same cutscene with just the Intercontinental title or different people, you know. So there you go. That's it. Okay, so in the very special storyline, this is going to be what happens when you successfully defend the tag titles by yourself at Taboo Tuesday.
You successfully managed to beat Edge and Christian single-handedly. But Eric Bischoff has ruled that because of Eugene's absence, you forfeited the match. Therefore, Edge and Christian are the new World Tag Team Champions. I have to ask you, after that hard-fought match, with all of the blood, sweat, and tears you left in the ring, how does it feel to lose the World Tag Team titles and let William Regal down like that?
How does it feel, Coach? How does it feel? How do you think it feels?
Of course the deck was stacked against you when your partner Eugene decided not to show up for the match. What is your reaction to Eugene, well, dropping the ball?
And that leads in here. I'm gonna have to look up real quick the choice I made in the last video, but there you go. So I guess you could sort of argue that's alternate dialogue, so why am I including it? But I think maybe the lip sync animation is slightly different since Coach's dialogue is slightly different at the beginning when you defend him, but I figured I'd just include it. So let me see which one I need to pick here. Alright, so I looked it up, and what I chose in my original playthrough was to be angry at Eugene, so I'm going to say, you know what, Eugene, it's alright, my man, so there you go. Okay, so we're still in a very special story here, and this is going to be the locker room scene, except for this time when I defended Eugene rather than criticize him. So here we go, so slightly different again. So here we go. Stone Cold's looking over, he's happy.
Eugene, you must understand. Edge Christian and that trollop Trish Stratus are not your friends. They're trying to confuse you and take advantage of you.
But they said they were my friends. And Trish is so pretty. She wouldn't lie.
Look, Eugene. They took your tag team title last week after they convinced you not to show up for the match.
I know. I'm sharing the titles with them. Trish said they're my friends. And we had a great party last week after they won.
They're not your friends. They've already hurt me, and they will not hesitate to hurt either of you two as well if you're not careful.
Look, I've got a no disqualification match against Christian tonight. I'm sure Edge is going to be at ringside with him. Eugene, I need you to come down to the ring with me. If you don't, they'll vanquish me. Do you understand?
Good boy, Eugene. Now you two had better get ready. I'm going to speak with your Uncle Eric about arranging a tag title rematch at Survivor Series.
Why? Regal was injured, walking all weird.
Boy, I tell you, JR, Eugene's about as dumb as a bag of hammers.
I feel terrible for that poor young man. I hope someone gets through to him somehow.
That was kind of cool. I was playing as Hurricane there, so he kind of ad-libbed a line. Instead of saying ganged up, he said vanquish. That was pretty cool. There you go. Alright, again, I said I wasn't going to include alternate dialogue, but just like I did for the Earning Your Spot thing, I figured I'd include this just in case anyone's curious, like what happens, you know, when you actually defend Eugene, and then you go into your match here when he manages you, so I'll show you real quick here. Not a unique cutscene, but I figured this video is probably going to be pretty short anyway, so I'm just going to include this. Can't remember if there's dialogue here or not. Let's see. It's Christian! No logos. Looks like there isn't any, but I believe there should be something here, so you might be wondering, like, what happens.
Look who's coming out all by himself again, JR.
I can't believe this. Has Eugene missed another match?
Yep. All that for like 5 seconds of dialogue. Hurricane. That was a pretty sweet angle right here. But there you go. So Eugene no-shows again. That's what I get for defending this man, alright? But there's also dialogue after the match, so I'll just exit out of this right away. Again, I said I wasn't going to include alternate dialogue, but I think for some of these, like, where they go into alternate branches, I figured I'd just include them, because this video is going to be, like, not really that long at all.
Well, after another no-show, I don't think he's going to be giving Eugene the benefit of the doubt anytime soon.
Well, you know what they say, JR. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, you can't get fooled again.
There you go, there's your 5 seconds of dialogue. I figured I'd just include that in case anyone's wondering like where it goes. But I believe after this, it goes into the same cutscenes and stuff, so that should be it for this one. Okay, moving on to the Legends Tour. So first alternate cutscene here is going to be the intro. So I did this as a SmackDown superstar. Actually, your loading screen here, I played as Kurt Angle. So this is going to be the alternate cutscene when you play as a Raw superstar for the opening here. There we go.
What'd you do to your hair? It looks different. So,
Hey, Eric. You wanted to see me? As a matter of fact, I did. As the general manager of Raw, it's my pleasure to let you know that you two have been selected to represent Raw on the upcoming WWE Legends World Tour. Congratulations.
wow! Thanks, Mr. Bischoff. I don't know what to say. It's gonna be a chance of a lifetime to entertain WWE fans worldwide.
Wait a minute. I'm not so sure about this, Bischoff. The two of us discussed getting me into title contention right here on Raw. How's this tour going to affect that? Well, since you'll be off Raw for a few weeks, I'm afraid you'll have to postpone your title hunt until you return. If that's the case, then I'd just as soon stay here, Eric. Thanks, but no thanks. Hold on a minute. Don't you realize that you'll be working with some of the greatest WWE legends of all time? It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to elevate your standing with WWE fans all over the world. Yeah, you're probably right, but just the same, I'm not interested. I'd rather stay here on Raw and challenge for a title. Now, if that's all you've got,
You want a title opportunity? Let me tell you about title opportunities. They go to superstars who earn them by doing exactly what their general manager asks. And right now, you don't exactly fit that description. Let me make myself perfectly clear. You are a Raw superstar. And if I tell you you've got a match in Timbuktu, I expect you to be on the next flight out. Understand?
Oh, I think I understand, Bischoff. I understand that the only thing standing between me and a title is a general manager
take it easy
who...
there, big guy. Maybe he's right. This tour could be great for you. And I personally guarantee that you'll have a very good time. And I'm sure you'll have a title opportunity waiting for you when you get back. Right, Mr. Bischoff?
I absolutely promise that I will definitely take the matter under advisement.
That's not much of a promise, Bischoff.
I'm not promising anything until I see what you do on the tour. But beat a few WWE legends and I'll do my best to put you on the path to becoming one yourself.
All right, have it your way. I'm on board. But you'd better live up to your end of the bargain.
Wow, that was actually a pretty cool cutscene, well animated, good voice acting from everyone involved. But I gotta say, pretty wild looking back on that, how when Christy dropped that line about, oh, you'll have a great time, you actually hear the crowd chanting slut. Like, Jesus, man. I guess from like a modern perspective, that's a little wild, but you know, like obviously stuff like that happened. But I mean, Christy's a face too, so it's also kind of weird, but you know, whatever, it is what it is. But there you go, that's the Raw version of the opening scene of the Legends Tour. Alright, back in the Legends Tour, this is the alternate match you get when you play as Raw rather than SmackDown. So instead of facing Bret Hart and Shawn, you get to face these two. I won't spoil it, but here you go, alternate scene.
You know, so far on this tour, I've faced the British Bulldog and Bret Hart. Two all-time great WWE superstars. But that's just the beginning. I'm issuing an open challenge to any legends in the back. Come on out here and face me in this ring tonight, so I can prove I really am a legend in the making.
What's that nuisance Jimmy Hart doing out here? He asked for legends, not loudmouth managers.
Jimmy Hart is a Hall of Famer, King, and one of the most legendary managers this business has ever seen. Plus, he's in charge of this tour, as if you didn't know.
You know, as the general manager of this tour, I should point out that individual superstars aren't the only legends in WWE history. In fact, certain matches themselves are also considered legendary. So tonight, I've decided to give to you a chance to revisit one of the most legendary WWE matches of all time. A Hell in the Cell match with the Mankind and the Undertaker!
Good Lord! That was one of the most hellacious matches this business has ever seen!
I can't believe this is happening, JR! The Undertaker and that idiot Mankind are gonna be in another Hell in a Cell match right here tonight?
You know, Jimmy Hart, just a few minutes ago, I was in my own personal nirvana, luxuriating in the Teutonic comfort and decor of the arena basement, contemplating the fine German engineering that must have gone into creating such a spectacular boiler room. But then I found myself inexplicably drawn up here to this very stage by forces I can't begin to explain. Sort of like a moth drawn to a flame in order to be set on fire, electrocuted, and impaled by tiny little thumbtacks. And I must say that I'm intrigued by what I've found. If my ear and what's left of my other ear don't deceive me, you are suggesting that Mankind, the Undertaker, and your associate in the ring there should meet in a Hell in a Cell match here tonight. Just for old time's sake.
Maybe you didn't hear me clearly, Mankind.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Well, as you know, The Undertaker nearly killed yours truly the last time we danced in the cell, and that was before the starting bell rang. A person would have to be certifiably insane to be dragged through hell like that again. Which bodes well for you, since, as is well documented, I am a few marbles short of a full deck. But if my math is correct, one more superstar in the ring means 3 potential casualties for the body count this time around.
Mankind, if you're trying to intimidate me, it's not working. You and the Undertaker may be living legends. Well, I don't know if you'd call the dead man a living legend exactly. But you can't scare me with...
What the? What's going on, JR?
Oh, no. This is not good. This is not good at all.
Hey, what's up, guys?
The Undertaker has just sent a message to his opponents tonight. If you want to be a legend, you got to go through the dead man first.
Maybe so, but with a triple threat Hell in a Cell match coming up, I'm afraid we might have more than one dead man here tonight, JR.
There you go. Pretty cool cutscene. So if you play the SmackDown Superstar, you get the Brett and Shawn one, which is cool. But of course, you know, Brett didn't record dialogue for this game, obviously. So, oh, just throws you into the match here. But there you go. Okay, so this is after the Hell in a Cell. Now, this cutscene is nearly identical to the one on the SmackDown side, but there's a slight difference here, so you'll see. Difference is there's a Hell in a Cell where when you play against Brett and Shawn, it's not a Hell in a Cell match, so there you go. So, I mean, I guess we'll watch it, but like the full thing, but if I'm not mistaken, it's the exact same besides the cell. Get out of there, Jimmy. Get out of there, Jimmy.
Austin's got some sort of problem with Jimmy Hart.
Well, who can blame him, JR? That blowhard gets on everyone's nerves eventually.
Oh no, goofy stunner. Goofy mocap stunner.
Stone Cold Stunner. Austin just stunned Jimmy Hart.
For once, I agree with Austin. Stone Cold. Stone Cold.
Oh, here we go.
Combustible elements here, King.
What do you think that was all about, JR?
I couldn't tell you, King. I'm sure the Texas Rattlesnake has his reasons, but Jimmy Hart represents the authority of Mr. McMahon here. And I have a feeling Hart is not going to let this slide.
Maybe so, JR. But since when did the authority of Mr. McMahon ever mean anything to Stone Cold Steve Austin?
There you go. Pretty cool how you get that Hell in a Cell match. You know, speaking of that Hell in a Cell match, sometimes I always think about, like, what do I think is this, like, just one match that's the most famous wrestling match ever? I think I don't know. To me, I'd probably go with the Hell in a Cell Mankind Taker. I don't know. There's, like, a lot of choices I know, and it's really, like, how do you, like, pinpoint what it is? But that's always the one that jumped to my mind first. But, you know, if you want to give your opinion on that, I'd love to hear it. But there you go. That was the Legends Tour Hell in a Cell match. Okay, so this is the final scene for the Legends Tour storyline when you go back to talk to your GM. So this is the Raw version. My original playthrough, I played on SmackDown. So this time I'm going to be talking to Eric Bischoff.
Welcome back to Raw. I followed your performance on the tour, and I've got to tell you, I was very impressed with what I saw.
You're not the only one. It was so exciting to watch you in action against all those legends. I could never get tired of watching you perform.
Thanks. You know, Eric, I was a little skeptical when you first asked me to go, but I've got to admit, it was the perfect opportunity to test my skills against some of the all-time great WWE superstars and prove myself to Raw fans around the world.
Hey, you don't have to thank me. It was my pleasure.
I wasn't thanking you. So anyway, before I left, you promised me a title match. I know we've got a pay-per-view coming up in a few weeks, and I was thinking...
Right. Your title match. Listen, I've been thinking about how overrated titles are in this business, and how a superstar your caliber doesn't need gold to prove his worth. Besides, remember that I only promised to take the matter under advisement. That was our deal. That's what you agreed to.
Listen to me very carefully, Eric. I said I'd go on that world tour if I came home to a title match. I kept my part of the deal. So if you
Take your hands off me right now. You've already crossed a line, and if you ever want to get anywhere near a title again, you'll let me go immediately.
Fine, Eric. Have it your way. Just remember, what goes around comes around. Come on, Christy. Let's get the hell out of here before I do something that we're all going to regret. This isn't over between us, Bischoff.
There you go. That's the Legends Tour. Okay, another alternate cutscene. This is going to be the Road to WrestleMania John Cena version. So this is the one where it's revealed that you actually rained down Teddy Long and that he's going to make your life hell on SmackDown basically up until WrestleMania. So when I originally played this, I decided to stay on SmackDown and challenge John Cena. So the alternate cutscene here, I believe it's going to be the only one, is where actually I decided to pack it up and head to Raw instead. So Triple H, on my way. And I believe this will be the only scene, because I think if you lose at WrestleMania, it will still just either play a generic scene or like nothing will happen, unfortunately. So I think this is our only alternate cutscene for the Cena version. I mean, I'll verify that, but I'm pretty sure I'm right.
Can you dig it, sucker?
SmackDown's #1 contender.
Well, it doesn't take a genius to figure out why I'm here, so I'll get right down to business. Triple H, as you know by now, I'm coming for your World Heavyweight title this Sunday at WrestleMania. I got tired of playing Teddy Long's game. In fact, there's only one game left for me to play, and that's you, Triple H, the game. So if you got the guts, I'm calling you out for a WrestleMania preview. Right here, right now.
It's Jericho.
So you're calling out Triple H. Is that right, Junior? What are you gonna do? Finish the job that your SmackDown pals started on him last Thursday? Well, you might have come after Triple H's title thinking he was easy pickings. But first, you've got to face Y2J in a no disqualification Iron Man match right now. I'm gonna take you downtown to Chinatown. And by the time I'm done, you won't be in any shape for a World Heavyweight title match this Sunday. Which means I'm gonna get my title match at WrestleMania after all. And we'll never, ever have to see your face on Raw again.
That was a great cutscene. Alright, once again going back to my word, I'm going to include some alternate dialogue. So this is WrestleMania here when you jump to Raw. Booker T, Triple H, here we go. Hopefully I don't get hit with the pedigree and then lay there for 20 minutes before I get pinned. But yeah, I'll include this dialogue because why not at this point, I guess.
Can you dig it, sucker?
Well, there he is, the #1 contender for the World Heavyweight title. He was a center of controversy on SmackDown, to say the least. But now he's jumped to Raw at the last second to take advantage of what he hopes to be an injured Triple H.
You hit the nail on the head, JR. What he hopes is an injured Triple H. We've had no information on the condition of the World Heavyweight Champion. He's got no idea what to expect. But I'll tell you what I expect. I expect Triple H to come out here to WrestleMania and kick this clown right back to SmackDown.
Well, one thing's for certain. These two superstars will beat the hell out of each other for the richest prize in our business, the World Heavyweight title.
champion Triple H. I gotta tell you, JR, he doesn't look injured to me at all. I knew he'd be okay.
He certainly doesn't look injured, King. The game looks to be in fine fighting form. If the challenger came to Raw because he thought he was going to have it easy in this title match, I'd say his plan may have backfired on him.
Triple H is in fine fighting form. HHH in FFF. Well, there you go. So we'll go ahead and move on to the next storyline. Alright, so next alternate cutscene. This is going to be the Road to WrestleMania Rob Van Dam version, also known as the ECW storyline, I guess. But so when I originally played this, I decided to stay loyal to SmackDown and not join ECW. So I'm going to join ECW this time, and you'll see actually a really cool cutscene here. And then I'll talk about it a little after it plays here. Right, so here we go, diving in the next week after agreeing to join ECW.
Welcome, folks, to another episode of SmackDown. We're 2 weeks removed from No Way Out, and the #1 contender is scheduled to return to SmackDown tonight. We haven't seen him yet, Taz, but earlier this evening, the Big Show got an invitation from him to meet at this location away from the arena.
I got no idea why he wanted to meet Big Show at this bar, but whatever the reason, he hasn't shown up yet.
There you are. What took you so long?
I had to make sure it wasn't followed. You know how those ECW guys are. Always jumping people from behind.
I know what you mean. That's probably why you want to meet here, right? So you and I can make some plans about how to deal with ECW without having to worry about them getting in the way?
Yeah, something like that, Ese. Just take a seat, Holmes, and I'll fill you in.
Did you just see that? He just attacked the Big Show.
I guess now we all know which choice he made. He's joining ECW. Good for him.
Bartender's just like, just another typical Thursday night. Okay, so let's talk about that cutscene here. So it's going to throw us right into the match. I'm not going to play it because there's actually no unique scene after it. But so that arena it actually loaded for the cutscene is not the same arena it's loading here. That's actually an alternate version of the Bar Brawl arena. So if you notice the TVs, like how here it displays the match, that alternate Bar Brawl arena has like just images of like sporting matches like basketball, football, hockey, all that stuff. So yeah, it's actually a separate arena ID than the one we're playing in now. So I did cover that arena in my non-playable arenas video, but I failed to mention that was the purpose for that arena. I think I didn't really realize that or remember at the time, but yeah, that's why that arena exists in the files. It's a for that cutscene specifically. And again, that's probably the coolest cutscene we didn't see in my playthrough because you see like the bartender and those two staff guys in the background there. It's pretty cool. So there you go. Let's move on. Okay, so this is the next alternate cutscene in the ECW storyline here, or Rob Van Dam Road to WrestleMania. So this is going to be right after the Bar Brawl, so the next week. So we're going to skip this match because it doesn't matter if you win or lose here, but I'll show you the next scene. There's our star right now, Eddie Guerrero, for the storyline. There we go. He's furious, guys.
It's Mr. McMahon. The chairman of the board is here.
RVD should have known that Mr. McMahon wouldn't stand for anyone interfering with WrestleMania.
You guys never learn, do you? You know, as I recall, WWE helped put ECW out of business. And I must say that I'm surprised as anyone to see it rise from the grave once again. I'll be damned if I'll stand idly by and let some sort of ECW insurgents affect WrestleMania's main event this Sunday. I don't care if you two are partners or not. You're still the champion and the #1 contender. So this Sunday at WrestleMania, I guarantee the two of you are going to put each other through hell for that title. And by God, I mean the WWE title, not the ECW title, just as planned.
You gotta be kidding, Vince. I mean, come on. You can't tell ECW what to do. There's no way the two of us are gonna fight each other just because you told us to.
Maybe you're right.
maybe I can't tell ECW what to do. Rob?
By God!
What just happened here? Okay, now I'm confused. Whose side is RVD on anyway?
RVD shrug.
Excellent work, Rob. You know, I really got to hand it to you. When you first started up with this ECW nonsense, I didn't think you'd actually listen to reason.
Well, let's face it, Mr. McMahon, money talks. And you've got the volume turned way up, dude. Plus, you're right, Mr. Thursday Night's just too big a star for ECW. SmackDown's the only brand that can handle the whole damn show. And this Sunday at WrestleMania, I'm going to remind everyone why I'm called Mr. Pay-Per-View when I defend this WWE title in a hardcore match.
So we're cool then?
Mr. McMahon, dude, everything's cool when you're Rob Van Dam.
All right, RVDs don't get caught with any substances. Don't be driving with Sabu, getting in trouble. All right, so that's a pretty cool cutscene. Now, I gotta say, I think I've pointed this out like 40 times, but it's so funny in this game with the cutscenes when someone gets hit with like an object and they're laying down. Like most of the time, they don't animate the laying down guy. They're just in a static pose, not moving at all. It's hilarious. But there you go. Okay, here we go. So the RVD Road to WrestleMania. This is the last alternate cutscene. So now remember, Van Dam joined up with Vince, but I still joined up with ECW. So this is what happens if you win while on ECW side. I'm gonna skip and hope I win here. Otherwise, I have to go back and play this. Or I could save state and maybe keep skipping. I don't know, but we'll see. So hopefully I win here. Big moves. There we go.
It's SmackDown, it's champion. I never thought I'd say it, but ECW is beating SmackDown at WrestleMania.
I knew he could do it, and that's saying something coming from me, a former ECW Grand Champion like myself.
Got the spray paint.
This is just too much.
Hey, the ECW title is back. And I don't think even Mr. McMahon's going to be able to buy himself out of this one.
No, this can't be happening.
Whoa, looks like the champ is taking a page out of RVD's own playbook.
Oh.
Terminator on Rob Van Dam.
What a night and what a WrestleMania. You know, Cole, I know you're not too happy about it, but this one is for the books.
What?
ECW
Oh.
is back, baby, and SmackDown may never, ever be the same.
Van Dam just laying down there. I was gonna say, I thought Taz wasn't gonna finish that, but it was just really delayed. Alright, there you go. So that was the RVD Road to WrestleMania alternate scenes. Okay, so this is the Road to WrestleMania Batista version. Now, this is after in the parking lot where you catch Batista near JBL's limo. So basically the choice is whether or not you trust him, that he's a traitor or not. So when I originally played this, I chose to trust him, which allowed me to play the tag match at the pay-per-view. So this time I'm going to choose not to trust him, which immediately puts you in a parking lot brawl. Batista now, after this parking lot brawl, it doesn't play a unique cutscene, but the following weeks are where these unique cutscenes come into play. So I'm going to just go ahead and not show this match, obviously, because we're caring about the cutscenes. Hey, look, guys, JBL's limo is back. It's kind of an oversight. Wait, hold on. I need to grab the horns, though. I'm playing as Muhammad Hassan, by the way. Yep. Talking to JBL, my man. Talking to JBL, my man. Oh. JBL told you how to counter that, didn't he? Okay, well, whatever. We're going to move on here. Okay, so this is going to be the next week after you choose not to trust Batista and fight him in the parking lot. This might actually be the only different cutscene I'm thinking about. Of course, I'll go through and verify, but I can't remember if there's anything after that. We got our mini ring here, though.
Well, I'm sure everybody saw what happened at No Way Out last night.
And the fact that Batista didn't even show up here tonight pretty much proves to me that he's a damn traitor to Raw. Now, as much as I'd like to strip the World Heavyweight title from a sumbitch, he's got a contract for a title defense at WrestleMania. So I guess it's up to my deputy to take it from him.
Austin's upset. The mini ring. Oh no. Look at Kurt. Oh no.
Austin, do us all a favor and shut your damn mouth. You want to send a Raw superstar to SmackDown? Well, we figured we'd return the favor on Raw. We ain't always on the same page, but we'll be damned if we let an invasion go unanswered.
Oh no. Goofy chokeslam. Oh, that was okay, actually. Showstopper to Austin, by God. Oh no. We gonna see a goofy angle slam? Oh my God! There's a fan blocking the way too. Are you kidding me?
They're killing him. They're killing Stone Cold Steve Austin. Someone's gotta stop this.
Goofy clothesline from hell.
Willing to go toe to toe with these guys.
I'm not giving JBL his horns back. Oh no, they're not done. Austin, no. No, Austin, no.
Is that all you got? Is that the best Raw has to offer? Anyone else in that locker room wants some of this? Come on out. We can make this hostile takeover quick and painless. Boys, make yourself comfortable, because we aren't going anywhere till somebody makes us.
Big Show is standing back there with his arms crossed. It's Muhammad Hassan.
Yes! Here comes the cavalry! I knew Raw wasn't just gonna roll over for these guys.
Raw still alive. These superstars are united. Raw still got some fight in it, by God.
All right, there you go. So not much to say here. This is just a team angle entrance, and it goes into a 6-man tag. So there you go. All right, guys. So that's actually gonna do it for the alternate cutscenes video. I was actually going in to record the Road to WrestleMania Triple H ones, and there is none. So it's pretty linear. So like I said at the beginning, I do really love this game. I still do. The season mode's great, but it is a little light on the alternate cutscenes, especially if you lose. A lot of them where if you lose those big matches, it just plays the normal title or celebrations from the exhibition mode, and sometimes they don't even have any commentary with them. So like, the big match, Triple H Hell in a Cell, if you lose, it just plays the normal celebration of Triple H in Hell in a Cell. Like, it's kind of disappointing, especially considering from like the last game, there was like stuff for like when you lose, even if it was just like commentary. So it was a little light in here. There was still more than I remember. Still pretty cool to see, but that's gonna do it actually for my SVR06 playthrough. When I initially started this playthrough, I kind of had like a checklist of things I wanted to make sure I covered. But like I say, my playthroughs are never really complete, because sometimes people make like discoveries about the games, or like if a beta copy comes out, I'm gonna come back and cover that. So it's not like you'll never see me play this game again, but in terms of like the full playthrough, I've hit the mark of everything I wanted to achieve for this playthrough. So I just want to say thanks to anyone stuck around. I know like I started this playthrough a while ago, and like I'm just now finishing it, which is a fair criticism, but I enjoyed it along the way, and I know people want to see me cover SVR 07 next, which that will be coming. So I would like to thank anyone that's ever like watched any part of this, or maybe those people that watch every part, including the bonus stuff. Appreciate you. You know, I know there's like regulars that leave good comments and good discussions about their memories of the game or favorite things to do in the game and what they like, don't like about the game. I love that discussion. I love how that keeps coming. I love how people want to see me cover these games. I really do appreciate it. So again, thank you guys, but that's going to close the book here for now on SmackDown vs. Raw 2006. So I guess I'll be seeing you in SVR 07.